it's easy for children to hold resentment towards their parents. And I mean, it's easier for them to say, I forgive you, but they don't forget, you know?
You ain't kidding, buddy. You
Yeah.
ain't kidding. You bet mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I love my mom and I love my dad. But there were some tumultuous times between both of us. They didn't live together. There were some tumultuous times between both of us. And I would do anything in the world to take care of them and make sure they're okay. But, and I'm sure on their end as well, there are things that, you know, I haven't forgotten or I won't forget, or they're sitting in the back of my mind. And I don't want, you know, and I'm sure that's going to happen with Finley too, but I don't ever want her to say, you know, you said 10 years, yes, 10 years, but even 2 years from now, I don't want her to say, man, my dad provided for us, but did he really love me? You know what I mean? Or did he really love me enough to give something up to be there for me?
Right.
And I don't ever want her to question that about me. Also for Maria, my wife, she's put up with a lot. We've been married for 10 years, over 10 years now. We've been together for 14 and a half years. And over those 14 and a half years we've been together, when we first started dating, I was in college for, 18 credit hours a semester. I was working 3 jobs because my mom and dad had both lost their job and they couldn't pay for anything. They couldn't help me pay for any of the bills. So I had to pay for bills. I had to pay for tuition. I had to pay for books. I had to pay, for car, everything. I had to pay for everything. And so her and I didn't really get to spend a lot of time together. That was all the way up until our wedding. Our wedding day, we had our wedding, didn't get a honeymoon because WWE, they hired me right before our wedding and they promised me that I could have a week off for my honeymoon. And I would say 4 days before my wedding, Canyon Seaman calls and he says, hey, we're just making sure everything's okay. You're set to come. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about it. He said, okay, so you will start on September the 17th. And I said, oh, dude, September 16th is my wedding. And you guys told me I could have the week off. He said, oh my God, I forgot to ask for permission for that. I'm so sorry. We can't do a week. Can you come in a day? And I was like, oh, dude. So I talked to my wife and I was like, hey, this is what happened. This situation. She said, I don't care if we don't go on our honeymoon. All I care about is marrying you. So we didn't have a honeymoon. So we got married, went to sleep, woke up the very next morning, drove to Tampa, Florida, unpacked all of our suitcase, our whole house. And the very next day I had to start working for WWE. And so, I had the WWE schedule until 2020 and then roll into AEW. And it's just been nonstop for us. So I also want her to know, like, I don't want her to look back on our 15 or 14 and a half years and say, man, he was never really there for me. You know what I mean? I want her to know that I love her more than the life that I breathe. I want her to know that and never have to worry about it or wonder about that. And so putting her and Finley above work, above my legacy, above anything is a factor into what we decided to do.